So this is something I did not know was going on, but now I have to be aware of. So I think this is taking place in America, and it's about a Ukrainian girl. Again, I don't know nothing about this, right? But we're about to watch it and well, read it and watch it and see what actually happened, right? Okay. She ran from war in Ukraine. She came here for safety, okay? And America failed her. 23-year-old Iryna, is that how you say it? Iryna, I don't know how to say her last name and I don't want to butcher it. Iryna was butchered on a Charlotte light rail. On the rail? Her throat cut open by a violent repeat offender who had been arrested 14 times and was still free? This wasn't random. This was preventable. There is a war on white people. Her blood is on the hands of the system, and that lets violent criminals roam with innocent people pay the price. If Iryna was black and her people and her killer was white, the media would be... Yeah, the thing is, I didn't even hear about this anywhere at all in the media. But I guess it is true. You know, if the race was swapped, the media would be writing non-stop about this because she's white and they stay silent, I guess, you know. This is evil and it's deliberate. Yeah, I actually don't know anything about this at all. Like, this really happened? Here's the footage. Iryna was doomed the moment... Oh, I hope I don't, like... Oh, please don't show, like... Yeah, I hope, like... Oof, I hope they don't show, like, the actual, like you know, thing happening. Because I can't show that on here. Oh, so he just gets up. Wow, that is horrible. You can see like the blood coming out of his... Wow. And people are just watching this? He's been... Wow, dude. This is ridiculous. He's been arrested 14 times. I feel like at some point this happened. Okay, yeah, this happened on the 22nd of August. Okay, at least now we have a date. This happened on the 22nd of August inside the Lynx Blue line light rail train. That was a mouthful. Jeez. Okay.
And up and from behind, unprovoked, as we stopped the video, he would stab the young woman several times. She had no chance to defend herself. The attack was over in seconds, and when it was over, Brown walked through the train attempting to get off. Few passengers, if any, at first realized what had happened, until they noticed drops of blood on the floor. 90 seconds after the attack, a bystander rushes down to begin lending aid to Zarutsk. She would die from her injuries. 30 seconds later, 9:52 p.m., 6 minutes into the video, Brown leaves the light rail.
The video here shows us just how quickly things happened and how difficult it would have been to prevent once he got on the train. And that is an important part to all of this. From what we've been told, Brown never should have been on the train. Authorities tell WBTV he did not buy a ticket. CAT says it is working on ways to keep fare skippers off mass transit.
That's what you come to a conclusion of? Yeah, no, let's make sure that people who don't buy tickets for train don't make it. That's the problem? Really? Not the fact that, I don't know, this man has been arrested 14 times and should not be let out in public. No, that's the issue you came through. That's the conclusion you... Okay, sorry. Wow, that's definitely where the problem is, for sure. Let's look at one more video about after the Ukrainian woman was murdered, the mayor issued a statement exclusively defending the homeless and mentally ill. Where is that? Where's that footage at? No mention of the killer's 14 arrests on multiple felonies. Our empathy keeps getting used. Wait, hold on. Are you serious?
Keeps getting used to excuse evil. And it's literally killing us. Yesterday, I showed you how liberal media ignored a black man murdering a white Ukrainian woman and the racial double standard in reporting. Today, I saw the mayor's statement. She called this a tragic...
This is a tragic situation that sheds light on problems with society's safety nets related to mental health care systems that should be in place. I don't think that's the issue here. Put bad people in bad places. Genuinely. Put bad people in the bad corner. Put them in timeout so that they don't mess the rest of Oh my gosh, bro. Why do you have to... I don't... I don't understand what hoops and leaps you have to go through.
Situation that sheds light on problems with society's safety nets. Said the killer has long struggled with mental health and suffered a crisis. Said we shouldn't villainize those who struggle with mental health, and that mental health disease needs to be treated with the same compassion as cancer. There was no mention of the killer's criminal record. This is a textbook emotional argument. When someone does evil, we get told to be empathetic. Emphasis is placed on systemic issues outside of their control, rather than the factors within their control. We're lectured about not villainizing them. We get told to call them unhoused instead of...
Also, those who are unhoused are more frequently the victim of crimes and not the perpetrators. Okay, respectfully, I couldn't give any fucks. This happened. Okay? Can we acknowledge the fact that he did a horrible thing and should be put in jail for life for it? Can we acknowledge the fact that the system clearly failed and should have gotten him less than 14 times ago? Jeez, man,
homeless,
people.
changing the terms instead of fixing the problem. Their choice to do evil gets compared to an involuntary disease like cancer. The implication is the killer is the victim, not the villain. This manipulation tactic exploits a logical fallacy called appeal to emotion. It causes us to ignore facts just so that we don't seem mean. It creates false equivalencies, making us think that the mental health of violent people is as important as the physical safety of their victims. Now, the mayor said she didn't know DeCarlos's mental health record, but we do know his criminal record. Carlos was arrested 14.
You don't know his mental health record, but you're thinking that he is mentally ill. I think the only mental illness here is everybody who let him out. Everybody who tolerated him.
Times. He assaulted his own sister. Under North Carolina law, he was a habitual felon. That should have meant years in prison, but the district attorney didn't do that. Instead, after yet another arrest in January, DeCarlos was held for months, then released without passing a mental health test. He was put back on the streets. And now, a woman who fled Ukraine to escape death met it here. The mayor was right about this. We should have compassion even for the worst offenders. Compassion is a virtue because there, but for the grace of God,
I want to say, and maybe I'm wrong for this because I'm trying to give it like deeper thought, right? I want to say compassion should be a privilege. Compassion should be a privilege given to those who I don't know. I have to give that more thought. Genuinely, I have to give that more thought.
go I. But compassion without consequences is vice.
There we go. I think he worded it very well. Yeah, I think he worded it very well. Yeah, I think compassion is a privilege that requires consequences and that requires regulation. Yeah.
Carlos did not face the full consequences of his past actions. He should have been put in jail, not on a bus. He should have been incarcerated, not out of vengeance, but to protect him and everyone else around him. Part of healing mental illness is exposing the person to the unyielding constraints of reality, because boundaries change behaviors, and empathy without responsibility isn't kindness, it's suicide.
This is a good video. Right here. Honestly, this is a very good video. But gosh, man, what is this right here?
By a homeless man. But some media isn't reporting it. And it's a pattern of being silent when the killer is black and the victim is white, and loud when it's the opposite. On August 22nd, Iryna Zarutsk said...
So this is the original video that he made. I'm curious to see what he said on here. If maybe there's something I missed, right? I'm just curious to see if there's anything I missed.
Down on a bus in front of DeCarlos Brown. DeCarlos, for no apparent reason, stabbed her in the throat. This was cold-blooded murder. Iryna was a white, blonde, Ukrainian refugee who fled the war. DeCarlos is a black, homeless, 4-time felon who just left jail. I hate that I even need to mention their skin colors, but I do. Because if this had been a white man murdering a black woman, this would be non-stop national news. And yet, the New York Times hasn't reported on it. CNN hasn't reported on it. MSNBC hasn't reported on it. What do they all have in common? They're all on the left. This is clearly newsworthy. It touches multiple third rails: race, immigration, Ukraine war, homelessness, and crime. So why aren't they reporting on it? Because there's a race-based double standard in the media. Now, make no mistake, right-wing media like Fox News and New York Post are biased too. And here's the thing, the media is overwhelmingly left-leaning. 30 to 60% of journalists are on the left. 5 to 7% are on the right. So we're all getting a skewed version of reality. One in which white on black crime is worthy of marching, but black on white crime isn't worth mentioning. Both are equally wrong. But we've been conditioned to see race first and principle second. And it's swinging the pendulum from one irrational extreme to the other. From white people being elevated to white people being denigrated. Meanwhile, black-white race relations are worse than they were at the start of the century. But why should I, a black man, care? Because we all should. We're supposed to be ending racism, not flipping who gets to be racist. And if we don't correct this, many white people will become...
I think I've said this several times on my streams, and if you ever watch my streams, you will notice. I generally do think that black people are some of the most racist people I've ever met. No, really. I generally do think that black people are some of the most racist people I've ever met. And I experience... Like, I have, at this point in my life, what people call black fatigue. You get it after you see the stupidity people do. And, like... Whenever... It's just, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. But I think that black people are some of the most racist people. I think they're some of the most, what would be the word where, like, you're so quick to put yourself as the victim? I don't know the word for it, right? Victim mindset? I don't know what the word for it. But, they generally, I don't want, black people are not a problem. Black culture is. Black mindset is. Black people are not a problem. The people are not a problem. The way the people think and the way the people act and also encourage themselves to act is the problem. And I think that's an issue. I generally cannot, out of the top of my head, maybe if I give this deeper thought, right? Out of the top of my head, I cannot think of any positive black role models. Out of the top of my head. It's not Cardi B, okay? It's not Kendrick, okay? It's not whoever else is your favorite rapper. It's definitely not King Von. But out of the top of my head, I cannot think of any genuine positive ones. Overwhelmingly positive would be the word. I'm sure everybody has some positive side to them. But overwhelmingly positive, I can't think of it. And that's a problem.
Resentful. And they'll swing the pendulum back to black. We can't keep doing this. In the face of evil, we must let go of racial preferences and focus on principles. All decent people must say, I don't care what color they are. A person murdering another person in cold blood is evil. All humans...
Is that difficult of a conclusion to come to? You don't have to jump any hoops and bounds. Simple self-preservation. You unalive somebody, bad. Bad. So you know unalive me, I know unalive you, nobody unalives anybody. It's not that hard of a conclusion to come to. It's not. But for some reason, you gotta put race into it and then jump through hoops and bounds.
Must say, I don't care who started it. A boy stabbing another unarmed boy at a track meet is wrong. All mature adults must say, I don't care how mistreated you feel. A woman calling a child a racial slur is disgusting. In a race war to the bottom, no one wins. The division shouldn't be black versus white. It should be wrong versus right. The media profits from us being divided. But you don't have to play that game. That's why I built Clear Thinker, so you can see right through it.
Okay. I don't know anything about Clear Thinker, so what I don't know about, I cannot just go out of my way to just advertise, right? Hey, these two videos that we just watched right here seem to be very positive videos. They seem to be very unbiased videos, and they seem to be very clear takes. But wow, man. It's really that bad out there. I don't know if this woman had any family out there, but my prayers go out to you, my thoughts go out to you guys. I hope you guys find peace and God's grace be with you guys. And I hope America sees the issue here and doesn't see the negative picture that is painted. It's not black people that's the problem. It's the culture. It's the mindset. It's not white people that's the problem. It's the perspective. Again, it's not the race. People do horrible and they should be stopped. The system should see these trends. The system should see these things. Do mental health checkups, all these things. And stop them, regardless of what race you are. But yeah, the system failed her. And the system has failed several people this year alone. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Wow, I came into this video not knowing anything about this, and now I know way more than I really care about to. Not that I care about to know. I know this has made me despise how people have become lately. And but hey, you know, you have to avoid certain things like this. I'm going to do my best to go out there into the world and go surround myself by positivity, because then it becomes an echo chamber, right? So yeah, I encourage everybody to go read the Bible, everybody to go out there and do something good out there. Do something kind to somebody else, you know, spread the positivity, make people realize how beautiful the world truly can be, or else it becomes a dark place for everybody. But yes, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Stay classy.